Alright, welcome back. I'm going to make a few changes to Pumpkin right here. So I figure I'd turn on the camera, see what happens. I want to check the clutch and see what's going on with the clutch. I did lower down the front shocks. So my shocks are now in the highest hole over here. They were in the center holes, so I'm trying to lower down the front end. But I want to see what's going on with this clutch and this transmission. So I figured I'd pop it apart, pull this cover off, see what's going on. And then definitely check the gearing. Oh yeah, that clutch was really loose on that clutch. Alright, well I just got ready to go outside and realized that I never calibrated my full throttle on my DR10. So before I head out, my plans were to adjust the clutch, get this plugged in, and then of course calibrate it, which I forgot to do. So let's try to do this. I've never done one of these. Steering. Throttle and steering. I want, I understand you hit set, go full throttle, hit set again, go full brake, hit set again. And that's it. It's bound up. The kick is just so bad. I'm gonna pop a 3S in there because I'm not liking. I might have to go in and change this punch. I don't know though. Don't know yet. It's my Venom 2S. Throw on my Electron Pro. .3S and see this punch. See if it wakes this car up. Don't need two adapters. Let's see, get that tire off. What is this gearing? I'm literally, if you guys are looking, I'll show you guys this. Watch this full throttle. I don't know, on 3S, it shouldn't be that easy. You should have to let off. Alright, let's try this again. I do know my controller is calibrated to it now for full throttle. It is on 3S, which I guess I'm just not used to a 60 amp ESC. So let me get this powered off again and we'll see you guys outside. Alright guys, still back again. Had a part show up. It's what I think it is. This should be a bag in a bag. Because everybody needs a bag in a bag. But I don't mind them doing that because they don't get damaged. Adds a lot of padding. So, here we go. This is a B5 transmission, or the rat rod transmission from Team Associated. So, yeah, see, that slipper feels so much better. So, from my understanding, this transmission should fit right in. So I'm going to pop this thing apart. I'm going to check the diff fluid on this versus the diff fluid I have on this one, because I'm not sure. And I want to take this apart. It does have a hard spot like RC Guy Garage says. It's real loose right there, and then it stops, and then I can't turn it, and then it goes and then stops and then goes and stops. So this is a very small transmission. I'm hoping that the B5, the Pro SC10 transmission, has more metal gears on the inside, but I'm not sure. I'm not a Team Associated guy, so I just don't know. But I have a trans that I'm going to play around with or pop in there when I break the trans that's in it. Because we are going to break that trans. It's going to happen. So, trans showed up. Very happy about that. Hate not having parts for an RC that I have, because weak parts I know are going to break. I'd like to get them ordered up now. And that's why I ordered this thing a couple days ago. Alright guys, let's go outside. Alright, back again with the Team Associated DR10. Trying to get down to my spot, but there's been a lot of people out here this morning. It hasn't stopped. The world is back in full force. So every time I make a change, I try to bring it out so I can dial it in. You don't want to do too many drastic changes on your car and then bring it out and run it. When it's out of the box, you have to make a lot of drastic changes. But once you're close, small changes, and that's really going to help you dial in your car. If you're constantly changing your setup around, all you're going to do is get farther away, and you're going to end up building an RC the whole time and not driving it or racing it. And that's not what a ready to run's for. Ready to run is so that you can get out there and not have to build it. So I'm going to get some camera set up and we're gonna get some launches of this thing and see if the changes I've made have really improved, and see if changes worked. Went off left, but I'm not too concerned with how far it went off left. It wasn't a hard left turn. I got a car coming now. There definitely is a lot of foot traffic today. A lot of cars because California is open again. So I'm gonna try to hit that same spot of where I did the burnout. Now I'm going to do a dry hit, and I'm going to make a change to my throttle or my steering rate. Turn some of my steering rate down. That was me counter steering when I saw it go left. Let's see. Nice and unsprung. Try this again. It's shooting off left today. And the only thing I changed was tighten down the slipper clutch. So now I'm going to try to load the rear suspension. Come on, back up. I'm really going to have to change the receiver in this thing because I'm not happy with the feel of this controller. Now I'm going to load the suspension, load the car down, and see how that changes the way it launches. We got to wait for this car. So it's still shooting off left. And it's drifting left a little bit. So the next change I'm going to make is I'm actually going to change the shock fluid. I'm going to stiffen it up in the front and probably the rear. We are going to dial this thing in if it kills me. I want you guys to see how I'm controlling the trigger. And every time I tap the brakes, it spins out. I'm not just yanking on this trigger. I'm literally squeezing the trigger, trying to get it to launch. So it looks like it's going to be back to the drawing board. It could just be tires. They might not have the grip that the Hoosiers have. So I might do a tire change before I change anything else. See, both rear tires spin and then it drifts, and then by the time it lines up, by the time it lines back up, the car's facing to the left. That's driving it. And my dual rate is pretty far down on the steering. But look, see, you tap the throttle. Try turning my steering dual rate to half, maybe more. So many people moving in. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really gonna have to set this up like I set my other cars up, take it all apart and just start from scratch. So I'm going to move the other camera so that I could zoom in on that rear wheel and see what's going on. That's enough testing. This thing needs a lot of work. So I've done what I can with it. I'm gonna go ahead and tear this RC down and build it the way I feel it should be built, because I'm just not happy with this one out of the box whatsoever. It's a spinning machine. It's a drift machine. But that's the whole thing with a short course body. I mean, this is an off-road truck. You know, we're taking short course trucks and converting them to a class that's on a drag strip. So, and the steering is so sensitive on this. You never get it going perfectly straight, and that's probably why they added the gyro. My steering rate is at 2 3/4, because RC guy had mentioned that I have my steering dual rate up, and that's why it's kicking left. But 100% it's not dual rates. Never run my dual rates up for steering. I only need to go straight. But thanks for watching, guys. This episode of dialing in the DR10, the Team Associated, ready to run. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you guys on my next video. Have a good day. Get out there, do some RC. I want to see some videos from you guys. How is your DR10 coming? Let's go.